Hello, I'm your host, the Unlucky Moviegoer, and our story today is about budding teenage fever, a deadly game, and well, we'll leave it at that so you can enjoy the mystery for yourself. We open to this girl, Beth, enticing her brother to come over to her location, claiming Ashley would like some intercourse. We cut to a male working out his forearm. His name's Tom, Beth's brother. He says he's on his way. We meet the gang, Kenny, Ashley, Beth, and Samantha. They're talking about how Ashley would like to sleep with Tom, again, Beth's brother. Turns out Ashley has a boyfriend, Matthew. He's okay with this conversation. Their sketchy drug dealer Tyler comes through with drugs. The kids get litty. Beth spots this guy staring at her. He then gets pretty heinous. Ashley and her boyfriend Matthew make out and mess around a bit. The rest of the kids play spin the bottle, but instead of kisses, they must give lap dances. Beth gets chosen and starts giving the lap dance of her life to her brother. They start to really get into it. Back to Ashley, who spots a game titled Game of Death and brings it downstairs to the rest of the kids. Matthew reads the cryptic instructions, which basically states it's a game of life or death, where they must choose who lives and who dies. The kids all put their fingers on the start tab and begin. The game takes their blood. Tyler understandably freaks out, but everyone else seems pretty chill about it. The instructions read that if they do not execute someone by the time the clock runs out, the game will choose someone in their group to kill instead, and that death is the only way out. It also says 24 people must die. Tyler storms off. The rest of the kids abandon the game as well to drink some beer. It's all fun and games until Matthew starts freaking out. His head explodes. Back to Beth and Tom, who see the counter go down by 1. The rest of the gang runs back inside. Tyler thinks there's a shooter outside. Samantha calls the police as the kids freak out. Someone knocks on the door and Tom brings out the glizzy. Hey, where'd you get that? Sus. Turns out the person at the door is a creepy neighbor guy from earlier. Tom brings the guy in. The neighbor claims he doesn't know what's going on. Suddenly, Kenny's head starts to swell up, then explodes. The counter goes down to 22. Tom starts to understand what's going on and tells the others that the game is real. Tyler tries to destroy the game, but it seems indestructible. Tom decides that they should shoot the neighbor. Everyone except Beth tells Tom to chill. Tom kills the neighbor. Quite easily, in fact.
We need to go.
The traumatized kids all get into Tyler's car and drive off. They drive past some officers who seem to be going to their previous location. Beth and Tom begin to argue with everyone in the car, sociopathically claiming they must kill to survive. Tyler stops just before hitting someone when Tom tells him to run the guy over. Tom says that if Tyler doesn't hit said guy, he's going to kill him. Tyler hits the guy and the car gets stuck. They check the damages, and it turns out this guy is really jacked up, but he doesn't die right away, so Tom finishes the job. Another passerby passes by and sees the scene. She tries to run, but Tom shoots her leg. He tells Beth that she must kill the passerby, but Beth has her doubts, saying she can't. Tom takes a puff of his inhaler and kills the lady instead. The siblings head back to the vehicle. Tom moves the entrails from under the car, and Ashley says they're all murderers. Tyler corrects Ashley, claiming Beth and Tom are the murderers. Beth and Tom defend their actions. We cut to this forest ranger, Marilyn, feeding her dog enthusiastically before going on patrol. Marilyn then runs into the gang. The ranger wonders what's going on. Ashley claims that they hit a deer and threw it into the woods. Marilyn seems like a really nice person who no one would want to kill. She starts showing genuine concern and care for the kids. Oh, did I forget to mention she's strapped? She starts to sing the Pizza Hut theme song and bids them farewell. But it seems Marilyn knows a thing or two, because she immediately makes a serious face and tells her dog over the radio she loves him, as if she feels the deadly tension in the air. She turns back around and tries to entice the children with fudge, seemingly to take their guard down. Suddenly, Samantha's head explodes in the vehicle. Tom immediately tries to shoot Marilyn. Ashley pushes the gun out of the way, so he takes her hostage instead, telling Marilyn to drop her gun. Beth and Tom hop in the car and drive off. Marilyn calls in the disaster and holds the rest of the kids at gunpoint. Beth is having more second thoughts when the beta boy says he's going to kill himself rather than see her die. Tyler's head begins to swell up and he's about to explode when Ashley comes in and hits someone with a crowbar. Turns out it was Officer Marilyn. This saves Tyler's life. Tyler consoles Ashley, who claims that their entire group must die to atone. Tom asks Beth if she'd kill herself for him, and she stares at him. She begins saying increasingly psychotic things about killing people who probably wanted to kill themselves, so they drive to a hospital. A nurse is giving this androgynous child medicine, and she asks if she's going to die. The nurse says, "Not on my watch." Tom and Beth, the siblings, are about to enter the hospital, but first, the siblings stop to make out, quite passionately, for about 2 sibling minutes of sibling screen time. They proceed to start killing the hospital residents in gruesome fashion. They narrow the game all the way down to 3 people. Tyler and Ashley walk into the carnage and follow the trail of bodies. Ashley tells the nurse to call the police while they go after the siblings. The kids from earlier begin walking down the hallway and run into Beth. The kid begins to make polite conversation with Beth. Beth tells the kid to close her eyes and count to 10. She's about to cap the kid when Ashley and Tyler come in and hold Beth at gunpoint. They tell Beth to chill out, and Ashley says to take her life instead. Beth says, "If that's what you want." But Ashley changes her mind last minute and hits Beth with the glizzy.
Got him!
What a shot. The police enter the chaotic scene. Ashley and Tyler escort the child down the stairs. Tom walks over to see his sibling, Beth, has been killed. He cries. Suddenly, Ashley and Tyler come back to finish him off. He reaches for his gun when Tyler attacks. Ashley lets the boys duke it out. Sus. Tyler gets the better of Tom, killing him. The game chimes, claiming that they only have one more person to kill. Ashley begins to monologue about how everything is pointless and death looms for them all. Tyler sees where this is going, but it's too late. Ashley shoots him. Ashley has made it to the end of the game. The police bust in and Ashley falls to the floor, looking like she's about to go for an Oscar. We get a shot of the police having a Christmas giveaway. It seems they're giving away evidence from previous cases. This lucky officer gets the game of death and asks if the other officers would like to play. The end. Love your siblings, but don't kiss them.